What's up, everyone? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys Super Wildcard Weekend here in the NFL. So, in this video, we're just going to be covering the Saturday games. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going against the Las Vegas Raiders, and then we got the New England Patriots going against the Buffalo Bills. So, hometown Bills here, not Bills fans, but the hometown Bills. It's going to be a very cold game. In that game, we're looking at like negative almost temperatures here. Right now, the real feel Reoz is like, what, 11 degrees here in New York?
Yeah, -11.
So it's going to get crazy. I mean, even the Vegas and the Cincinnati game is going to get pretty chilly. So some rough weather hitting here Saturday. We'll get into the Sunday games in another video, so stay tuned for that one. If you haven't played PrizePicks before, it's a very simple way to play. You can take over-unders on player props. So right here we got the passing yards category. You can choose between different categories. You can see them listed here at the top. They even got stuff like fantasy score too, which is really cool, just single touchdowns. So yeah, you could take Derek Carr over on his passing yards, over, under. You can string him together. Even with someone in the NBA. So it's very cool. You can mix and match sports. Fun way to play. We've been playing it for a while. Our channel has grown significantly since we started playing it. You guys seem to love it. We love it. So they're also the sponsor of this video. So you can sign up for PrizePicks using promo code Upstate. That'll give you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit 100, you get 100 back to play with. You can do 25, 40, 50, 60, or whatever you want to do, but up to $100, they'll give you a free deposit match back on that. So Super Wild Card Weekend, Reoz, excited to get to it. It's going to be an awesome time. So Saturday games, man, we got passing yards here. I already talked about the weather. Bengals are coming in as 5.5 point favorites, and the Buffalo Bills are 4.5 point favorites. So, what do you think about these games in general, man?
Yeah, before we even kick off that, remember we got that Patreon at patreon.com/upstate. We're doing write ups, we're doing top hit rates, a lot of stuff going on there. We've been absolutely smashing NFL, we've been smashing NBA. So I know it's not the beginning of the month, but you are definitely getting great value over here at Upstate Bets Patreon. So the link will be in the description, and let's just jump right into this slate. Passing yards. Really, the only guy for me is definitely Joe Burrow. 255 and a half. This game might be cold, but regardless, he's got so many weapons around him. He's just been smashing as of late. I mean, he didn't play Week 18, but against Kansas City, 446, against Baltimore, high 52. He's just been unstoppable, and even with the cold weather, he's a Ohio boy, so I don't think the weather's really going to get to him in this game. So uh, he just looks phenomenal. I mean, the connections with Higgins, Boyd, and Chase have been unreal so far this year, and at 250, 255 and a half, I really see this pretty easily hit.
Yeah, Bengals coach Zach Taylor said that they've been practicing outside this week. Like they've been definitely getting adjusted to the cold. We know the Las Vegas Raiders are a warm weather team. Could bother them a little bit. I mean, I saw a statistic online today. I was showing Reoz that the Raiders quarterback Derek Carr 0-5 in career games when the temperature was below 37 degrees. So I mean, I don't really believe it. I mean, me and Real both kind of agree here that Derek Carr is a different kind of quarterback. So, like I said, Bengals 5.5 point favorites here. Is this a position where Derek Carr could throw from behind? Yeah, they've had big games so far this season, but to me, no real interest in Derek Carr. I like the Burrow pick for sure. And then between Jones and Allen, Riaz, do you like those guys?
I mean, it's this is definitely tough for me because we saw a cold, snowy. I don't believe there's going to be snow in this game, but we saw that crazy game where Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times, and it just really looked like they didn't even need him out there. So at 184 and a half, it definitely seems really enticing how well he's been playing as of late. 261 against Miami, where we really didn't even know if he was going to play the whole entire game. So definitely one to take a look at for the over. And even if you want to take the under, I mean, it's really up to you. But at 184 and a half, I feel like Josh Allen's going to have no problem in the weather, and New England's going to have to throw the ball, especially if they get down early here.
Yeah, I agree, man. The line does look good. At first, I had it at 189 and a half. I had to refresh the page. Dropped down to 184. So PrizePicks is adjusting these lines, apparently probably because the cold's coming through. Allen, I like him in a different prop. So I'm going to get over to that and rushing yards, man. A lot of guys here. I'm going to get to Allen first at 41 and a half. We've seen him do it on his, with his legs the past couple weeks. And I mean, really, just a threat. Really, any given possession for him to kind of break one loose. And when he does, I mean, he has the chance to break one for like 20, 30 yards too. I mean, he really finds open field. They can do some designed quarterback draws in this game for him as well. New England can definitely bring pressure, and with the game being so cold, I mean, if it was snowy conditions, I mean, I would expect the passing attempts to go down a lot more. But the fact that it's just going to be very cold. I still think that they have the ability to pass the ball, but I think that helps, man, that Allen will have the ability to let the field open up and he'll find his lanes to get going, scrambling, because I feel like he's definitely looking to scramble here. I think he knows what he can do and how much of a threat he is. So 41.5, just the way he's been playing, I feel like is a really good discount here.
Without a doubt. I mean, another guy I think we're both kind of on is Josh Jacobs, 56.5. Just playing phenomenal at the past 3 games. It kind of looks like they want to get him going because he's such a great talent that it only helps Derek Carr when he gets going early. I mean, the game did go into overtime, but still 132 against the Chargers, who have a really good run defense, and even against Denver, I know 2 division teams, tough games, definitely must-win games for the Raiders. So almost 130 against Denver, just really running the ball, unbelievable, and it's really hard to fade someone who definitely gets the volume of carries and at just kind of a discount from really all of these running backs. We know what Joe Mixon did last time these 2 teams played, and even Harris in that blizzard, just miserable game, he just had a great performance, broke off like a 70-yard touchdown run. But for some reason, I'm just really leaning towards Jacob in the volume.
Oh, love Jacobs here. I mean, if I had to pick one guy, really, that would be my guy for this Saturday game. 2 Saturday games here. Definitely be Josh Jacobs. 27 attempts early on against Denver in Week 16, and then 26 attempts against the Chargers. Like Reoz said, did go into overtime, but he only saw a couple attempts in overtime. Regardless, like, and even in the Chargers, like, really held on to the ball quite a bit in the fourth quarter. So he was very limited towards the end of the game and still saw 26 attempt. I think the Raiders want to run the ball, similar to what Reoz said exactly. It'll get Derek Carr going, and there is a scenario where the Bengals definitely could jump out early, and really, and really just like put a dagger in this Vegas team like we've seen before. This Vegas team definitely give up a ton of points, but at the end of the day, like, this is playoff football. It's going to be chilly. I don't think these games are really going to be as high scoring as people think. I think there's definitely some nerves that come into play. I mean, Derek Carr, in the playoffs for the first time, Burrow in the playoffs for the first time. It's like, I mean, I definitely can see like why they want to establish the run here. I just definitely think Jacobs is going to be the guy.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you got anybody else here for the rushing yards?
I mean, besides for Harris and Singletary, they've been playing both really well. I don't really have much interest. I just don't know what to think about this game. Like, it's right now we're recording this video. It's 9:30. It is just so cold here where we are, and I just couldn't imagine playing a football game right here in this weather. I don't know like how this game's gonna turn out. But I just know Allen's my only guy here for the rushing yards in this game.
Yeah, so let's hop over to receiving yards. Really, I'm just on Hunter Renfro just from the volume of targets. We've seen him kind of lackluster in the last couple of games. I mean, 2 out of the last 5 just not performing how he has really all season. And I think just in the playoffs, Derek Carr is just going to rely on Renfro, and we don't really know how much Waller really is going to be out there. We know he did play against the Chargers, so he could really be just kind of a decoy out there. I think they do want to get him a little more involved, especially since it's a playoff game. But you can never go wrong with Hunter Renfro and just all the targets he gets, and just the run after the catch has been phenomenal all year for him. So definitely do not mind Hunter Renfro at 53.5.
Yeah, I think his receptions look really good too. I mean, you got Darren Waller. He's going to eat a majority of the receptions, but we thought that same thing when they played the Chargers, and Waller only saw 2 receptions there. Hunter Renfro's the type of guy that really can do it. In a couple possessions, get there in the receptions. And in terms of receiving yards, I don't think he looks too bad. For me in receiving yards, actually a guy that I really haven't bet on, and not a lot of people are going to be on, I don't think, is Tyler Boyd. I think the line's at 39.5, and it looks really good to me. I don't think this is a line that's going to go up or down. I think it's going to stay right around here. And he's a guy. He's not eating up the most targets on this team, of course, and he's not the deep play threat like Jamar Chase is. But really, I mean, last 5 games, 4 of the last 5, we've seen big ones against Denver, and that was in a game when Burrow struggled. In Burrow's last 5, that was the game Burrow had the least amount of yards passing. He was looking to Boyd in those short yardage passes. And he's the type of guy that definitely can break away. So I like Boyd in this spot, 39.5. I think he's very comfortable. I think Burrow's very comfortable with all these receivers, but I think the design routes they're going to have for Boyd here are really going to favor him.
Instantly just a great discount compared to Chase and Higgins. To go into this Buffalo New England game, there's definitely the weather is for sure a factor. So I'm kind of leaning towards these tight ends here. I mean, Dawson Knox is definitely a guy where if the weather is just really hindering Josh Allen, where he can't really throw downfield, Dawson Knox is a perfect dump down guy for him, and he could really eat up a lot of targets. And I mean, zero against Atlanta. I'm not sure if he played that game, but against the Jets, 49 yards receiving, and he's just kind of a comfort guy. We saw middle of the year where he was just going crazy, having double-digit targets, scoring a touchdown almost every single game, just really being the guy for this team. And no better time to go back to him in the playoffs against New England, who they've seen twice so far this year. And at 30.5, I feel like it's just a really great line for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a huge red zone threat. I mean, down in the red zone, they're really looking his way. So Dawson Knox always looks good to me. I think in this game too, like Reoz said, leaning on the tight ends would probably be very safe. In terms of receptions, man, I already talked Renfro. I think Renfro looks really good. I think Boyd looks better in his receiving yards rather than his receptions. Zay Jones, a guy that's definitely 5 out of the last 5, has looked good. I mean, it depends on Waller's health. If Waller's really going to get going in this game, I think they got Derek Carr around like 38 to 39 pass attempts. I definitely think some can go Zay Jones' way. It's definitely going to be a sweat if you take Zay Jones. It's definitely not a lock, but I do think he looks all right.
Yeah, and we've seen when Waller was out, uh, he couldn't just rely only on Renfro. He had to get somebody else going, and Jones definitely stepped in and played a great part. I mean, we knew Josh Jacobs had a couple dump down passes, but just to kind of get the ball down the field, Zay Jones is definitely a guy uh, to definitely do that. Even the guy right next to him, Higgins, I mean, he is just a target machine. We know Chase has that big play upside, but it's kind of hard not to go to this guy considering he gets double digit targets almost every single game. He's a great runner. He doesn't really run the big routes that Chase does, so that kind of gives him the better opportunity if this game is a little bit colder to kind of rack up more targets, more catches. We know his catch rate is unreal. So at 5, it's a really great line for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. And between both guys, we talked about it a little bit. I think Higgins definitely looks really safe. Waller, I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, in the beginning of the season, you would think this is just an absolute lock, and then just like as things progress, as injuries happen, I mean, it stinks that we are where we are. But I'm probably not going to be going to Waller in this spot either. And then Buffalo, New England, Myers is a guy. I mean, his last 5 look great too. I just don't know how much Mac Jones is really going to throw the ball. Diggs is always a threat. He's up and down, up and down. If we want to follow that current trend, it looks like he's going to be down on this game. But however, you can't really ever just trust those bars any given night. So it's a tough one, man. Like you said, Dawson Knox, 3 receptions, definitely has a good shot to get there. So anyone else here for you, or do you want to hop to the touchdown categories?
No, we can hop over to the touchdowns.
We got 4 of them here, man. We just got straight up touchdowns here. Josh Jacobs, Devin Singletary, passing touchdowns, just Josh Allen. And we got Joe Mixon rushing touchdowns. The Mixon train left the station back in like week 12, and it kept just riding off the rails. We haven't been back on it since. And yeah, I mean, curious on what you think about that line.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate that we don't have Mixon as just a touchdown. It has to be a rushing touchdown. So I'm not really on that one. I could definitely see that he is gonna. I can definitely see him scoring a rushing touchdown, even with the cold. This game just feels to me that it's just going to be very high scoring regardless of the weather. But I would much prefer him in the touchdowns. And for the touchdown touchdowns, it's really tough not to go back to Singletary. I mean, 4 out of the last 5, last 2 games scoring 2 touchdowns. I don't really know what happened to Zach Moss in Breida, but Singletary seems to be the guy. We kind of thought he was going to be the guy all year, but Moss kind of stepped in and stole the role from him for a little bit. But Singletary's a great running back. I mean, he could definitely do both jobs as a receiver and a running back, so I have no problem going to him here for a touchdown.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's just looked great in the past, 4 games. I mean, even the game against Tampa Bay, but the past 4 games just incredible. So I think he definitely is viable to hit, and I think that's gonna wrap things up. And we're gonna go over to fantasy score quick, and anyone here interest you? I mean, for me, there's not really much. Josh Allen looks like a guy that really can just completely break the slate. I mean, 5 out of the last 5. I mean, obviously, dual threat kind of guy, can throw some touchdowns, run some touchdowns, so I think he looks good. But he'd probably be my only guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. Just that running and passing upside that Josh Allen has, it's kind of hard to fade that 20 regardless of what's going on in the game. And then, really, the only guy for me here is Harris. I mean, at 9.5, 5 out of the last 5, and we've already seen what he can do against Buffalo. I mean, 17-28 already this season on Buffalo, so it's kind of hard to fade this guy since he's at 9.5, and he could have 100 yards rushing with no touchdowns and get over here. So no problem going to Damian Harris.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't realize how much he's been smashing and how low this line was. But yeah, he looks awesome. 2 games against Buffalo. We see right here on these past 5 back to back, 17-28, like Reoz said. Awesome production from him, and if he gets going on the ground, like he has against Buffalo in the past, he can be a really good play. So I think that'll wrap things up, man. I'm really excited to get to this slate. These games are going to be amazing. Playoff football, there's nothing like it. I mean, college football just ended. It was a great season, but ready to get to these NFL playoffs and, really hammer these PrizePicks videos, everything. So like Riyadh said, join the Patreon if you haven't yet. We're going to be pumping out content night in, night out, NBA every single day. We got, NFL. We're going to be covering all the slates. Now we're doing hit rate articles. Me and Riyadh are doing our picks. We got separate articles coming out and even more things in the work. We're thinking about doing some live streams too. So if you guys are interested in all that, hop over there. Still a great time to join. We're getting better every single day. So thank you guys for watching. We just hit 1,500 subs as well. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything. Stay tuned for the video on the Sunday games and the Monday games. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.